boldly go where no man has gone before.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Yesteryear. It's the animated show from the 70s. It's Star Trek. We got everybody back except for Chekhov, who's too good for this show. I wonder what the story is about that. Just busy doing other things? Didn't want to do it? Wasn't invited? They didn't invite Kyle back. He would have done it. He would have done it for free, that guy. You know it. Instead, they got fake Kyle. Otherwise known as Scotty, who's doing all the voices, including everybody else. He's doing Kirk, he's doing Spock, The only voice he isn't doing is his own. Last time we had a trouble with a dying star, a dead star, that looked like a planet, and a cool alien spaceship, and a monster that I felt sorry for, who just didn't play it smart. This time, Yesteryear, I'm expecting time travel. Of some sort. The last time we had time travel was like 3 episodes ago. All our yesterdays. So don't go anywhere cold or really hot or I don't know, go anywhere else. Go to the land of the dinosaurs. I want to see them draw some dinosaurs. Can you imagine the scripts get written and they get to the animators and they're like, oh, I don't want to draw that. They did a cool job last time. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. Remember the golden rule. New is good. Anything new is good. It's the golden rule of Groundhog Day, and it's the golden rule of this show. Still, only those 3 get their names. You think the others would get their names too. You don't have room for 3 more? Oh, DC Fontaine. You don't have room for 3 more names?
Captain's log, stardate 5373.4. We are in orbit around the planet of the time vortex, the focus of all the timelines of our galaxy.
What?
Our mission is to assist a team of historians in the investigation.
Oh, no, that's a Token Donut. This is the Guardian of Forever. It's the same thing. Is this the planet that we were? Is it canonically the same one? I thought they were. I don't know. They made it sound like it was something different, but this is the same thing. Anyway, I'm so excited at seeing it, I forgot to listen.
Of Federation history.
Hey, we got this guy, Falco.
The travelers are returning.
Hey Kirk, do you recognize these crewmen?
Orion, at the dawn of its civilization, even just observing, not touching anything for fear of changing some piece of history.
Did we change anything?
What's the matter? Bones? Who's he, Jim?
Oh, they don't know Spock. We changed something.
Who's he? You know Mr. Spock.
Right, I don't, Jim.
First officer. You don't like him too much?
Beam up.
Aye, sir.
We changed something. Hey, we only got 5 spots.
Captain, I was expecting it to be one of the historians with you. But a Vulcan?
Where's Birdman?
Explain yourself, Mr. Scott. The first officer of this ship will be treated with respect.
Oh, an Andorian.
Captain, no one has ever treated me otherwise.
He's new Spock.
He's been your first officer for 5 years.
I have come to the conclusion that this is not a game.
What happened?
Well, we changed something. We went back in time.
When we were in the time vortex, something appears to have changed the present as we know it.
Yeah.
No one aboard recognizes Mr. Spock. The only answer is that the past was something.
I've been wondering, this is an animation pose, how they're doing the planet. It looks so cool. And I figured it out. I think. They've got a static picture but a circular like cutout, right? And they're just moving the arc across the picture to give it the illusion that there's rotation. But there isn't. It's very effective. Anyway, who are the people on the other two on the planet? Historians? They did not beam back. Maybe they're just staying down there. Maybe it's their turn to go through the time portal. I thought we had a new Birdman. I really love the idea of that, though. Having crazy looking crewmen.
How altered.
I can't find one thing we did when we were in the vortex that could possibly have affected the future.
Who are you?
Something was changed.
It seems, Captain, I'm the only one affected.
Yeah.
But I know who you are, and no one else aboard does.
Yeah.
Kirk here.
We've checked the Starfleet records Commander Thalen asked for. There is no Vulcan named Spock serving with the Starfleet in any capacity.
Doesn't exist. Erased.
You also researched the Vulcan family history requested.
Yes, sir. I can relay that to your screen. Sarek the Vulcan, ambassador to 17 Federation planets in the past 30 years.
Good likeness.
That is not correct.
It is in this case.
He never married your mother.
What of Sarek's family? His wife and son?
Amanda,
Oh,
wife of Sarek.
she does
The
exist.
couple separated after the death of their son.
Oh,
The wife was killed in a shuttle accident at Lunaport on her way home to Earth.
My
wow.
mother.
Died.
The son. What was his name and age when he died?
Spock, age 7.
So you do have a record of him.
If we didn't change anything while
Birdman.
we were in the time vortex, someone else must have. Was the Guardian in use while we were gone?
Yes, but it was nothing unusual. We were scanning recent Vulcan history.
Not Joe Barrett.
Period.
Was there any notation on the death of Ambassador Sarek's son?
Yes, the boy is recorded as dying during the maturity test.
Maturity
TAS
test.
1, a survival test traditional for young males. That was the day my cousin saved my life in the desert when I was attacked by a wild animal.
This cousin. What was his name?
I do not recall clearly. I was very young.
Can we go back?
He called himself Selleck.
Oh, hey, how about... Was he about your age right now? What if we were always intended to go back and become Selleck and save Spock? Wait, no, that causes all sorts of bootstrap stuff, doesn't it? You know? Spock can't exist at this age unless he goes back in time to save himself when he was younger? Whoa, no. But we could. That's pretty advanced for a cartoon show. Story? I know it's for adults. But look at Birdman. Every show should have a Birdman.
He was visiting us, but I never saw him after that.
Spock.
Mysterious.
Did Selleck look like you do now?
Oh,
I
Kirk.
believe so, Captain.
He figured it out.
And I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, me too.
It was I who saved myself that other time.
Yeah.
But this time, you were in Orion's past with us when the historians had the time vortex replay Vulcan history. So you died as a boy. Guardian, did you hear that?
I hear all.
That's not that Guardian.
To return to Vulcan and repair the timeline that so all is the same as before?
It is possible if no other major factor is changed.
Great, don't touch anything.
There is a vague memory from a child's point of view.
Just wing it,
But
Spock.
the details are not clear.
That's what Birdman would do.
I will need a Vulcan desert soft suit and a small selection of streetwear, circa 8877 Vulcan years. The carry bag should be of the same period.
Yeah.
You've got it. I'll order the wardrobe section to prepare it now.
This change in the timeline will put you in my place, yet I'm not aggrieved. In your time plane, you will live, and so will your mother.
How about this
That
guy?
is valuable.
Can we look him
Live
up
long
later?
and prosper in your world, Commander Spock.
You too, buddy. He's been really
Nice
gracious.
to know the crew is efficient in this time plane, too.
Clothes, right?
Spock.
Just Spock going, I guess. Yeah.
I wish to visit the planet Vulcan, 30 Vulcan years past. Location, near the city of Shikar.
The time and place are ready to receive you.
Oh, I just ran in. Cool city. Whoa.
Personal log.
No, it's the Jetsons.
Subjective time. I have returned to the past in an attempt to restore the future. I am home, and I had almost forgotten its beauty.
Oh, cool outfit.
Emotional Earther! You're a Tyran, Spock! You could never be a true Vulcan!
He's been taunted.
My father, your father brought shame to Vulcan! He married a human! You haven't even mastered a simple Vulcan neck pinch yet, Earther!
Frickin', they seem like they have a lot of emotion.
My apologies, visitor.
Oh, it's Sarek.
I regret you were witness to that unfortunate display of emotion on the part of my son.
That sounds,
in the family.
That sounds like Mark Leonard to me. They got a lot of people into this one. You know, they got Majel's voice, and they got Mark's voice. Either that or Scotty's doing a great job. The only voice they didn't get right, even slightly, is the Guardian. Anybody could have done a better job than they got in this one. You need to have a more commanding, sort of booming, sort of cool voice, doesn't it? Anyway, will Sarek know? Will he know what's going on here? Will he recognize his son all grown up?
All is silence. No more will be said of it.
You are of my family?
My name is Selleck, an humble cousin descended of T'Pel and Sasak. I am journeying to the family shrine to honor our gods.
Will you break your journey with us for a while, cousin?
Oh, yeah.
I am honored.
Cool.
Is something wrong, cousin?
No. It was only that it seemed I know you.
A family resemblance to our forefathers, no doubt.
No doubt. Well, come then. Allow me to welcome you to my home.
I think he might figure it out. What the hell is this thing?
Spock, being Vulcan means following disciplines and philosophies that are difficult and demanding of both mind and body. You constantly display your emotions. Yeah. You have even been seen fighting in the street.
Yes, Father.
They started it.
Vulcan offers much. Order, logic, and control in place of raw emotions and instinct. Once on the path you choose, you cannot turn back.
Yes, Father.
Unless you have a time machine. Is that his teddy bear we heard about?
Disturbed by my son's behavior, Selleck.
My young cousin has a more difficult road to travel than others.
Yeah.
You seem to understand him better than my husband.
It is difficult for a father to bear less than perfection in his son. Spock will find his way.
I hope so.
It's Nurse Chapel.
The boy goes through the Cos-1 ordeal soon.
No, we got dog problems this episode, unfortunately. But it gives me a chance to read the transcript for what was that Babel episode called? Journey to Babel. Yeah, I think it's the teddy bear. I think it's the teddy bear that we talked about in Journey to Babel. That huge, monstrous animal. That's Spock's best friend. Selat. It's described as a fat teddy bear with 6-inch fangs.
Soon you will undergo your test of adulthood in the desert. To survive for 10 days without food, water. To fail once is not a disgrace for others. If you fail, there will be those who will call you a coward all your life.
Oh, jeez.
I do not expect you to fail. Not if your heart and spirit are Vulcan.
You'll succeed or die. Succeed or die, but don't be a coward, or I'll disown you.
Chaya, what if I'm not a true Vulcan like they say?
Could this thing come with us? Oh, cool fountain.
The timeline seems to have changed again. Yet I do not believe I have done anything to disrupt it. My memory is quite clear regarding the date my cousin saved my life.
Yeah?
And it is tomorrow.
No, Chaya. This is my own test. I have to do it alone.
Aw, I want to bring it with us.
Stay.
No, but it's cute.
I should have remembered. It wasn't the actual Cos-1 ordeal.
Chaya, go home.
Hey, buddy.
You are too old and too fat for this. Go home, Chaya.
Oh. Oh.
Personal log. The boy, Spock, should be moving toward the Langan Mountains. I had much to prove to myself.
Are you gonna climb this mountain?
Our son and the visitor are gone.
This cousin Selleck.
You kidnapped him.
Something strange about him. I will notify the authorities and ask them to initiate a search.
They'll never find them. Is it a... It's a dinosaur! A dragon! What the hell is that? Yeah, our buddy. Our buddy. It's like Kirk versus the Gorn all over again, isn't it? Oh, Spock's riding it.
Chaya, good boy.
Yeah, good.
I suggest
Good
we
boy.
move away from this area before the Lamachia regains consciousness.
Do you think I'll ever be able to do that neck pinch as well as you?
I dare say you will.
Oh, is that how you did it here?
Come now.
With this thing?
You followed me. Why?
Destiny, kid.
You are worried about the Kazwan ordeal.
I had to see if I could do it. A personal test. I cannot fail.
That is your father's wish?
Father wants me to do things his way, and Mother says I should. But then she goes,
She is a human woman with strong emotion and sensitivities. She embarrasses you with those traits, and you are afraid when you see them in yourself. There is some human blood in my family line. It is not fatal. Vulcans do not lack emotion.
Yeah.
It is only that ours is controlled. We have emotions, but we deal with them and do not let them control us.
But what about our buddy?
The Lamachia struck him with its poison claws
Oh
in
no.
the fight.
Is he dying?
Yes.
Can we have emotion over this? Spock. This is heartbreaking.
The Selat was struck by the poisonous claws of the Lamachia he fought. He is dying, unless we can find a healer, and soon. We cannot get him back to the city to a healer. He is too large to move.
Can we move him to the future?
I can bring a healer here.
There are many dangers. I will go.
No, this is my duty.
Okay.
Will you stay with him?
We better not lose this
This
thing.
did not happen before. My life decision was made without the sacrifice of yours. I can help a little. Sleep now.
Go, kid, go. Oh no. A Sarlacc pit. It's gonna swallow you, Spock. Don't step on it. Whoa. Where are we gonna get a doctor at this hour of night?
The hour is late. I trust your errand is urgent.
My Sailot, he suffered a small wound, but the poison of its claws is working in him now. He needs your healing.
You are Spock.
Yes, healer.
I have heard of you.
Yep.
I have heard of a tendency toward what humans call practical jokes.
I did that once, 2 years ago. I would not call you out unless a life was in
Come on,
danger.
across the desert, dude.
Very well. Wait here and I will get my medicines.
Oh, he's waking up, Spock. Oh, cool. Flying car.
It will not be long now, old friend.
How does Spock get back to the future?
Crossing most efficiently. You will not disappoint Sarek in your Kazwan.
I wanted only to help Ichaya. To lose him.
A Vulcan would face such a loss without tears.
How?
By understanding every life comes to an end.
Nobody's so cute.
Loss of life is to be mourned, but only if the life was wasted. Ichaya's was not.
Yeah, he saved you.
Spock, it has been too long. No antidote known will save his life.
No.
I can prolong his life, but he will be in pain. I will need your decision. He is your pet.
Oh, this is a sad one.
Release him. It is fitting he dies with peace and dignity.
Good job, young Spock.
I regret having troubled you in any way.
I trust you can explain why it was necessary.
A direction for my life had to be chosen. I chose Vulcan.
Yeah.
You have comported yourself with honor.
If you will excuse me now, I have some business to conduct with schoolmates.
Yeah, gotta beat him
A
up.
demonstration of the Vulcan neck pinch. Our cousin taught me.
I too must make my farewells.
You saved my son's life, Selleck. There is no way I can fully repay you for that.
Try to understand your son, Sarek of Vulcan. It will be repayment enough for me.
My home is yours if you pass this way again. Live long and prosper, cousin.
He's back.
Traveler is returning.
Thanks, Guardian. You goofball.
One small thing was changed this time. A pet died.
Pet? Well, that wouldn't mean much in the course of time.
It might to some.
2 to beam up.
2 to beam up, aye, sir.
Hey, is everybody up there that should be? Scotty? Who are you two? Get off our ship.
So you two finally got back from your vacation. I've been running the annual crew physicals. You're the last one.
No, the leg machine, eh?
I have to recalibrate every time I run a physical on you, Spock.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. McCoy, you do not know your good fortune. If the times were different, you would have to recalibrate
For an Andorian.
Andorian.
Yeah.
If that was supposed to be a joke, Spock, I have to remind you, Vulcans don't tell jokes.
Times change, Doctor.
He's a new person now.
Times change.
This episode was quite different to the first episode. The first episode was more of a standard episode of Star Trek, where we come across a mystery and we have a monster and we gotta trick it and we gotta deal with it. This one was a more emotional, personal story. And although it was simple and it was mostly just Spock, you know, none of the other crew were really in the episode apart from the start and the end. It did some cool things. It showed us Spock's childhood, which we hadn't seen up until that point. It showed him being bullied. And I've seen future Star Treks deal with Spock being bullied as a child. This was the canon that we're building on. That Spock was bullied by other Vulcans for not being Vulcan enough. Cool seeing there's a throwaway thing in Journey to Babel, where we talk about a teddy bear that turns out to be this monster, you know? Kind of a funny part of Journey to Babel. And then to see it actually animated in this episode and actually be a real big part of the episode. The core and heart of the episode is Spock needing to prove himself and his love for his pet. You know, his best friend. So it was cool seeing that too. Great that they got Mark Leonard in to play Sarek. You just know instantly it's him when he speaks. Apparently Scotty was I read a little bit. Scotty was supposed to do that if he wasn't available. He'd already actually recorded all of Sarek's lines. That does not surprise me, because apparently Scotty also did like 6 other voices in this episode or whatever. It was huge, a huge number. Do you think when they got to the recording studio, James Doohan was just like, this is great, I love all this, I'll do all the voices, give me Birdman, I'll do Birdman. You know? Yeah, anybody else? I can do all sorts of crazy voices. He did the Guardian's voice too. Strange though that he did the Guardian's voice, because the Guardian's voice is so different in the original show to this show. And we know, I think Scotty, I'm sure he's able to do a voice like that. I'm sure we've heard him do a voice like that, like the original one. But in this episode, he was like, the travelers are coming back. You know, it was just awful. It wasn't awful. It was just really unlike what we'd heard. The booming, the strong voice of the Guardian. My only solution in my own head is that the actor did not know that it was the same exact portal as in that other episode. If he had known that, he might have tried to do that voice. Then again, we saw what he did with Kyle's voice, so maybe not. Having Spock be replaced with an Andorian. It's kind of cool. I would have liked to look up that guy at the end of the episode. See if he's alive. See if he's doing okay. Kind of tragic if he died because we saved Spock. The idea for the Spock story is kind of, I was going to say advanced, but it is interesting that Spock himself has to save himself. You know? That is one of those time things that can't really exist, you know? Paradox. Like there's ways to do it, but someone would have originally had to save Spock in the original timeline, and then Spock saves himself and then continues that loop. But it is an interesting idea. And I thought of it, and then instantly when I unpaused, Kirk thought of it, and then Spock was like, yeah, I know what you're saying. So everybody was on the same page at the same time. Who was the other person with Birdman down on the planet? Who was that woman? She was voiced by Majel Barrett, but I don't know who she was supposed to be. You know? They didn't beam up with when they beamed up originally. They stayed on the planet. I was waiting for Birdman to appear on the transporter pad. He never did. That's the weird thing, you know? When they came out and there was a Birdman, I was like, maybe that's the change. Do you recognize everybody? Let's go through the ship's crew. Did we still got Leslie? Rodriguez? Galloway? No? And there has been a change. Because the pet was lost. Died. When young Spock went off to get the doctor, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. He's, he's making a trek, he's doing a journey to save his pet. But we lost the pet anyway, and it was kind of a growth moment for young Spock, not to show emotion over the death of the pet. And then Spock at the end is like, go easy on him. Try to understand him. Stop being such a bad father. I've always been curious about that, actually. How we have so much... There seemed to be a sense of lore about Spock and his family and his father. And I was like, oh, we're going to see that when we watch through the original series. But they were just in that one episode, the Journey to Babel episode. So I was like, wow, all of this lore built off just that one episode. But now we got another one. We've got an extra one that adds more details, more layers about the expectations of a father and a son, and we get to see things play out. So it enriches the story. Now, is the story too really interesting? It's not. It's fine. It's just a simple story. It's not going to break. It might break hearts, but it's not going to break your brain or anything. And there wasn't too much to look at that was cool, like last time, except for that dragon creature and the Selat. And not too much for the rest of the crew to do, but just a heartwarming episode about Spock's childhood with some references to the original series thrown in and some core new ideas placed into Trek canon going forward. And then we gotta get back to the ship and do our physical. Yeah. The next episode, that one spinning planet, we're going to get a lot of use out of that. We're not going to get much variety. Maybe they could do something with filters, with color filters, make it look a different color. That could be a cheap way to reuse it. But we won't have to worry about that next time, because the title is One of Our Planets is Missing. What do you mean? Where did it go? Maybe sometimes we get sent away and we think the planet disappeared, but we're the ones that moved. So come back next time to find out where this planet went. Where has it gone to? Maybe it just took off into the galaxy somewhere. It got bored of its own local system. Got bored of being in orbit and was like, hit the jets, we're going out of the galaxy on an adventure. It'll get pretty icy though, away from any sunlight. Come back next time to see all that, and have a great day. I'll see you next time.